Papalabas sa ubi.
Sa ibang bansa, kung ano yung buhay ng
Oo. Kung may naglalaban lalaki mo.
Tulog ka lang, tapos naglalaban na sila.
Palitan kami.
Pinalitan kasi sa bulse, kape.
Siya kanila, pagkatapos ako naman.
Oo.
Alam mo, ang buhay dito sa Maynila, ganyan lang naman. Pag nangupahan ka, kailangan kumilos ka nga, may pambayad ka sa upa. Eh, saan mo kagilapin yung 2005? Oh. Pag hindi ka makabayad, eh, palayasin ka na may-ari ng bahay na yan.
Wala po, ulirang asawa. Nag-aalaga po ako ng 5 kong anak. Hindi na sila kumakain sa isang araw, bihira na sila kumain. Siguro sa isang araw, kakain na lang sila, sa gabi na lang. Sa umaga, mag-aalmusal na lang sila, tinapay. Wala na silang tanghalian.
Minsan, walang pagkain, gano'n. Oo. Minsan, nagugutom. Oo. Yung mga kahirapan talaga.
Siyempre, gusto ko rin sila magkaroon ng magandang edukasyon, magkaroon ng magandang buhay, na hindi nila danasin yung mga dinadanas ko.
Papalabas sa ubi.
Sa ibang bansa, kung ano yung buhay ng
Oo. Kung may naglalaban lalaki mo.
tulog ka lang, tapos naglalaban na sila.
Palitan kami.
Pinalitan kasi sa bulse, kape.
Siya kanila, pagkatapos ako naman.
Oo.
A lot of structural adjustment policies were being implemented, including here in the Philippines in the 1980s. And during the implementation of that project, we found out that there was not adequate data to really look at the impact at the micro level. Censuses and surveys were just giving data at the regional and national level, but we were not able to get information to be able to assess the impact of all these policies at the household level. So we came up with a monitoring system that would allow us to do that, and that is the community-based monitoring system. There are actually several objectives of CBMS. One of them is really to be able to reduce poverty by promoting evidence-based decision-making, so that we would really be able to identify who and where the poor are, and after diagnosing the extent of poverty, being able to formulate appropriate interventions and then be able to assess the impact of all these interventions. We came up with an initial list of indicators relating to the different dimensions of poverty, and then these were subjected to various consultations. So we consulted different sectors, government, both national and local. We consulted academe, non-governmental organizations, and other stakeholders, and we came up with this core set of indicators. With the local government code, which was passed in 1991, many of the functions of the national government has been devolved to local government units. So we also see CBMS as a tool for improving local governance. The local government units get what we call the internal revenue allotment, a share of the national revenues from the national government, which they use together with their own internally generated revenues to be able to address the needs of their constituents.
Many local government units had responded to it. There was a warm appreciation of how they can use it and the benefits that they will derive from using the CBMS.
The CBMS is not entirely costless. There are some costs to implementing CBMS, and we thought that the best way to institutionalize it is if the local government units can take the lead in implementing it, because then cost will be shared across the different levels of government.
It's not as costly as compared with other survey instruments.
The financial aspect of the implementation is being shouldered by the local government.
And so what we're saying with our municipal mayors is that let's be partners in the implementation of this. You should allocate part of your budget.
The data that we generate are very different from the data generated by the CBMS, because the CBMS generates household level data.
We used to do sampling only, say 20% of the total households in the community.
which will be used as representative of the community.
It's more of a gut feel, before the CBMS.
When you are a politician and you are asked by some quarters to do this and to do that, sir, we need this, we need that, and they don't have anything to rely on, they would say, yes, okay, you will be needing this, so I will give you this.
Of course, we have always to use politics to implement our CBMS because we are the one allocating funds.
Because the typical thinking of a politician is that they would provide programs and projects that would be visible to the electorate.
As an initiative in the context of the Philippines, a lot of people, including a lot of development agencies, are searching for a way of taking some of the politics out of targeting.
Favorite investments of legislators are infrastructures projects, where easily money could go down the drain because of leakages, corruption.
It's true that people from the community might want to manipulate the data to show a situation worse than the actual, to be able to get more resources or more assistance from outside. But at the same time, it's really a big commitment on the part of local chief executives to do CBMS, because that would mean that they're actually opening up their processes to everyone, and everyone can see whether resources that they've used up have made any dent on the quality of life of the people in their area.
The people know the real problem of the locality, and if the chief executive do not implement projects that will intervene the problems of the locality, well, this is a very big problem. Bakit na mayor gagawa ka nito hindi mo naman kailangan?
Nung una akong mag-upo, akala ko kailangan kong magawa ng mga istruktura para sa aking accomplishment. Pero hindi pala. Ang kailangan pala talaga ay puntahan, itap ang koneksyon ng tao, itap ang koneksyon ng isang pamunuan sa pangangailangan ng kanyang barangay.
When yung 7MS natapos, nagkaroon kasi ng mga na-determine yung mga problema namin like out of school youth, unemployed.
Nasa sense namin yung ibang problema before CBMS. But actually, we have no organized data at wala kaming verified data through the grassroots level.
Kasi kung nag-gathered muna lahat ng mga data ng mga tao natin dito sa mga naninirahan dito sa Bayan Santa Elena, at least nalalaman ko ang sino ang dapat bigyan muna ng tulong.
Yung pumasok po yung sa BMS, din nalaman ko po na bawat area sa lahat po ng sulok ng, kumbaga ng barangay namin, lahat po ng bawat purok nalaman po yung kung paano sila naging malnourished, ganun.
Nakakandak kami ng meeting para mapag-usapan Barangay Development Council o kung alin ang dapat na i-prioritize ng barangay ng mga proyekto bago namin pin-forward sa City Planning Office.
Dati ang problema namin, karsada, hindi pala yon. Ang problema namin dati, artisan well, hindi pala yon. Dati ang problema namin, peace and order, hindi pala yon. Ngayon, nung na-introduce ang CBMS, nakita ang tunay na problema, na-identify yung problema sa PID ng mga tao.